Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Sotiris Living. I'm Shobha, and I'm a trained counselor and coach. And today I wanted to speak directly to those who have felt life shift beneath their feet. When what you thought was permanent disappears, leaving uncertainty, grief, and a lot of times fear. Losing everything doesn't just impact our circumstances, it shakes the very foundation of how we see ourselves, our abilities, and our purpose. Many of us carry a quiet anxiety. If this can happen, what else might I lose? Who am I if this disappears? Who am I if I'm no longer this person? It is natural to feel unmoored, to feel as though the rug has been pulled from under you. But I want to share a perspective I often hold with clients. Loss can also be a doorway to self-discovery, realignment, and deeper resilience. So let us look at the weight of sudden change. Loss can be abrupt, a job gone, a relationship ended, a home lost, a plan shattered, and sometimes it's cumulative. It's years of expectations, routines, and identities quietly eroded until one day it all feels too much. When people first come into counseling after a sudden life shift, they often describe a disorientating emptiness. You may feel tired, for example, even when nothing physically exhausting has happened. You can also start to feel really mentally fogged up where you have brain fog, unable to make decisions easily. And I know this is something that I've struggled with personally. You will feel emotionally raw, cycling between sadness, anger, guilt, or shame. And perhaps more deeply, you feel unseen. Others may not fully grasp what it feels like to lose not just material stability, but your own sense of who you are. These experiences are not failures, they're human responses to profound change. The mind and the body are alert, vigilant, trying to make sense of uncertainty. However, one of the most powerful counseling perspectives I share is that your identity is not defined by what you have or what you have lost. Who you are is reflected in how you respond, how you grieve, how you allow yourself to rebuild. Losing something external, a job, a career, a role, can feel like you're losing yourself, but it's also an invitation to rediscover the parts of yourself that may have been hidden, neglected, or dismissed. Ask yourself gently, who am I when none of my external labels apply? What skills, values, and qualities remain regardless of my circumstance? What new possibilities might emerge if I pause to reflect before reacting? This is a process, not a one-time decision. Rebuilding identity is slow, nuanced, and often non-linear. Let's look at how we can incorporate resilience as a gentle practice right now. We often think of resilience as something heroic, a dramatic comeback or a bounce back story. In reality, resilience is quiet and it's extremely practical. Allow yourself to feel grief without shame. Don't shame yourself any more than you need to because it's not helpful. Name your fears and acknowledge your uncertainty. Make one small intentional choice each day that aligns with your values. Even micro actions, answering an email, taking a walk, journaling, speaking kindly to yourself are acts of resilience. I always encourage my clients to notice these moments. They are evidence of inner strength that doesn't always feel visible, but is profoundly real. Now, let's look at how we can navigate midlife transitions. Many people in their 40s, such as myself, or 50s, expect life to be stable or settled. Losing what you thought was permanent can feel like personal failure, but counseling offers a different lens. Midlife transitions are not a crisis to survive, but a natural evolution to navigate with care. This is a time to explore what aspects of your life were fulfilling and which were performed out of expectation. Which old dreams or suppressed passions can now be revisited because you're no longer held by those labels that you held in the past? How can you intentionally build routines and environments that reflect who you are now, not just who you were? These questions are not about rushing into a new life. They are about curating a life that fits your evolving self with gentleness, reflection, and patience. So let us now look at how we can heal through self-compassion. A critical component of rebuilding life is self-compassion. Loss can trigger self-criticism, regret, or guilt. You may find yourself thinking, I should have done something differently, or I failed at life. A counseling approach reframes this. Loss is not moral failure, it is a human experience. So let us look at some practices that we can do to nurture self-compassion. One reflection prompt that I often ask is, what do I need to hear from myself right now? Sometimes we need to give ourselves what others are unable to. And number two is to do gentle journaling. I know people don't like to journal, but note your emotions without judgment. Stop the name calling or the self-loathing. Allow yourself to feel without judgment. Number three is to take a mindful pause. A breath or two before reacting to fear or anxiety is very important. Deep breathing helps the body to relax and prevent us from going into panic mode. Number four, have supportive conversations. Connecting with a counselor, coach, or trusted friend. And just make sure these people are supportive because not everyone is your friend. So choose wisely when you're choosing who to talk to. Self-compassion is not indulgence. It is the foundation for strength, clarity, and intentional rebuilding. So let us look at some practical steps towards renewal and rebuilding your life after loss. Loss does not mean rushing. Rebuilding your life after loss does not mean rushing or forcing change. It means returning to yourself gently, step by step. Some practical ways include pausing and observing. Notice what you're feeling in your body and mind. And also identify the small actions, micro steps that reflect values and energy. Revisit your dormant passions and interests, creativity, learning, or hobbies that you have long forgotten but are no longer beholden to. Evaluate relationships and support. Surround yourself with people who hold space and not pressure. Also, creative reflective rituals, journaling, meditation, walks in nature, to process your feelings, because this is a very important part of rebuilding. These steps are not about moving fast, they're about moving mindfully. So my final reflection is this. If you're standing amidst loss, uncertainty, or unexpected change, I want you to gently remind yourself of this. You're not starting from zero. You carry lived experience, your resilience, and your wisdom. You're not alone. Many people have navigated transitions that felt impossible at first. You are not failing by pausing, reflecting, or grieving. Take the time you need. These are the necessary steps towards authentic rebuilding and not just moving into the next phase so that you can get on with it. You need to remember that rebuilding is not a race. It is not a perfect story. It is a deeply human journey, slow, reflective, sometimes messy, but profoundly revealing of your strength, values, and capacity for renewal. Stand with yourself. Listen to yourself. Trust that even when life feels lost, you have everything that you need to rebuild, gently, intentionally, and with care. Thank you for staying till the end of this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, share it with someone who might benefit from it, and subscribe for more. Until the next video, please remember, live aligned, live inspired, and keep moving forward, one step at a time.